Primetime, that's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime, primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.,
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes,
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
and Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Love the end of the work week, and especially when you're heading into a long weekend. Welcome in. It's XL Primetime. We're ready to rock and roll. 2 to 4 this afternoon, a big hair, heavy metal Friday. But here's what we're going to do today. This is in honor of those that we've lost, Memorial Day weekend. And we will change up the way we finish our show today. Instead of Big John, and we're not going to take it, we will have a nice little military tribute with a military anthem from one of those great war movies as we finish our show today, because we are heading into Memorial Day, so we would love for you guys to jump in. But remember those that have sacrificed, the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. And I tell you what, we should never, ever, ever take it for granted. Ever.
Absolutely. My grandfather was Army, World War II. So that's the only one in my family I know that served.
That's pretty,
I'll be taking a trip down to Florida National Cemetery Saturday and see my pop. Yeah. World War II Navy vet.
Yeah, and so, look, there's so many out there, and we just salute the ones that are serving right now, the ones that have given so much in their lifetime, those that, as we said, the ultimate sacrifice. So if you guys want to send any comment or just recognize anybody in your family, we will try and get a few of those shout-outs today. It is XL Primetime. We're going to talk college football. We're going to talk NFL. I do get a kick out of some of the stuff that's out there right now with the Scotty Scheffler arrest, which you can just imagine pretty soon it's going to be, I don't know, either dismissed or brought down because the scene that you saw of the deputy throwing himself into.
It's far away. Okay, the video's far away.
I know, it's not good.
But it doesn't look good. It's not a good look for the cop. There's no doubt.
No, not at all. All right, so we will definitely stay on top of that, but we'll get into a handful of other things. But today, if you could come up with some great heavy metal, big hair, any rock and roll from some of your great war movies, just hit RJ the DJ up at 641-1010. Sound bites from any of those movies. We'll try and play them today.
The clean ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're trying to find a clean one from Full Metal Jacket right now. It's not easy.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. So you can go on the stream, go to YouTube, search 1010XL. You can see our stream live, crank it out, and you can throw a suggestion there on the chat. We would love that in the MyBookie Digital Studios. And then also one other thing that we want to hear from today, because as we're sitting here, we're talking about what we're gonna have on Memorial Day. What's the setup gonna be? So, what's your barbecue setup? Is it barbecue? Is it burgers? Is it dogs? Whatever it might be, just let us know what you're cooking. Because Matt's going. He's going. Am I going to go with the butt? Am I going to go with, what were the other choices? Because I'm going to go.
I thought about quarters.
Yeah.
And then you got me off quarters because you said there's too much extra stuff in there, and you're right. It's
just, I do love, they just
they smoke so well, though, man.
Yeah, the leg quarters. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. They're so
smoke
good.
really well.
Yeah, they just wrapped up at Southern Steer, and you got the big brisket from Southern Steer.
Last year it was phenomenal.
You smoke a brisket up on Memorial Day.
Oh, you're doing
whatever.
It right.
But I've become more of just a leg and thigh man because they got the BOGO action on those all the time. But I was leg quarters forever.
Well, let me ask you a question now. Okay, so when you smoke a brisket, right? Yeah. I mean, that's a commitment, right? What we talking?
A 12-hour commitment.
12-hour commitment. So you can't be in a rush for doing anything.
No.
Couple of cigars, brown water.
Couple great movies. Couple series.
Okay, all right.
Well, yeah, and
because now this is part 1A of this early talk before the show began. Leon has now succumbed to the reality of he's just a guy now.
No, I'm more than just a guy, but I've settled in.
You're one of the guys.
I'm one of the guys now. I've settled in.
He's settled in, he says.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I fought it for a long time.
That's beautiful.
But I've come to the.
How did you come to this reality?
Well, you get hall passes, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when I was young, when I get hall passes, it's like I'm tearing up.
I'm
tearing up the city.
Yeah.
I'm roundabout. Now, not so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy the sanctity of my household.
You know what I'm going to give you?
You kind of miss your girl too, don't you?
Yeah. You know what I'm going to give you? I'm going to we all have different gears at different times of our lives, and you're going balls to the wall or whatever. but now you're in overdrive. Okay, you just kind of hit that.
I'm on cruise control.
Yeah, you got the
bro.
cruise control on.
Yeah, I'm
about
in the
75.
I'm in the slow lane. I'm in the slow lane, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, which
You
is
know,
quite
I'm
all right.
slow lane and veer off to the rest stop and all that kind of stuff.
All right, yeah, he's
I know-
into the chill mode, which is good.
Yeah.
All right, so let us know: is it just straight burgers and dogs? Is it brisket? Is it a butt? Is it whatever, wings? Because I'm going to try and create the assortment. I always do, because there's so many different people that want so many different things, and it may come down to like one of the son-in-laws, Jordan, will do the smoky dogs, and he'll smoke the hot dogs, but then he'll also make the armadillo eggs, which are you basically take sausage.
That's like jalapeno, right?
And the jalapeno, and you make
Stuff
those just so dang good.
Yeah.
And Michael in the middle, our son, he will definitely be into the dogs. So we'll have
You
all
wrap
sorts
that
of-
in bacon, that armadillo egg?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but now here's the thing. Let me just give this piece of advice to a lot of you out there.
So far, it's still a Waco 180 proof, by the way. All
Oh,
that,
yeah.
the jalapeno,
Protein.
the sausages, the bacon, we're still good.
Yeah, you probably don't need the
talking
cream
dirty to me.
cheese,
Keep
but that
going,
you
man.
can live without that. But the one thing that I need you people to know, if you are going to do the jalapeno wrapped bacon, whatever,
Right.
or excuse me, the bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers, cook that bacon a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, make it
Don't just
crispy.
wrap it raw.
Yeah.
Okay, cook that bacon a little bit, then put it around the stuffed jalapeno, and then go ahead and finish it off because
Or go slow on your grill.
it stands no chance.
Yeah.
It's always going to be soggy. And one day on this show, we will have a limp bacon versus crispy stand up by itself bacon battle. And I want to know where people are on that.
I'll tell you.
That's not for today.
Hey, I'll tell you what we
We'll
did
come
last
up with
weekend.
that one another day.
Last weekend we got this giant shrimp
Mhm.
from the farmers market.
Yeah.
Giant.
Oh yeah, big prawns.
So wrapped them in shrimp. I wrapped them in bacon, but I thought, you know what? If I throw these on the grill hot, the shrimp's gonna cook, the bacon's not. So I just like low.
Yeah.
And man, that bacon got crispy. The
Yeah,
shrimp
you gotta
wasn't overcooked. It was perfect.
You gotta have it. You gotta cook your bacon. Okay. All right. Now let's get into a couple things that we were talking about. And the post spring is alive and well for all your football teams. And we came out of the spring portal with just a handful of big names checking in with different schools. Not as much player movement as we expected. I think Matt was forecasting. I know there were a handful of other guys that said this is going to be crazy. And it really didn't get that crazy. But now that we kind of get an idea of what it's looking like, we're going to create our XLP CFP Top 12. XLP CFP Top 12. Say it really fast. Because
Well, what it is it's our 12 teams we think are going to the playoff. Now you got to remember, one of them's got to be a Group of 5 team.
Yeah, and we're going to do this once we get to the season. We'll have our XLP CFP Top 12 on a fairly regular basis. That will be our power poll in college football every single week as we start to get this season to unfold. But right now, you got to take a look at a bunch of these teams and kind of get a feel and figure out which one has the most returning production, which one did the most in the portal, which one did the most with the latest, greatest recruits that they've signed. It's kind of a three-pronged deal, and all of them probably don't necessarily fit with every single team. Like, in other words, Kirby Smart is bringing back a really good football team. He recruits very well. He ain't necessarily attacking the portal because he doesn't have to. Now, you got a couple of guys, but that's the deal. So what's your criteria, Leon, when you're just taking a look when we put our college football spring XLP CFP Top 12?
Well, I mean, it starts with the expectations for this season. All right, first and foremost, I mean, this team, more than likely, this team that in my poll is probably in the top 25, more than likely, top 25. Probably a favorite to go to the championship next year. And then I look at the recruits, and I look at the portal, and I look at the quarterback. Those are probably the essential things, what kind of quarterback they have coming back. So, I mean, those were my criteria. And I'm going to tell Matt Hayes something like that. This was not easy.
No.
It was not
No.
easy at all. So, I had to dig deep to
So
pull out these teams.
I looked at it, and college football, I'm telling you right now, with every year now, it seems like college football is mirroring the NFL more and more, not just paying players. I mean, just in the way things are done. And that's not a bad thing, really. Recruiting is like the draft, and free agency is transfer portal. And so when you miss in recruiting, you add through the portal.
Right.
Just like in the NFL, when you miss in the draft, you add through free agency. And it's kind of the same thing. There's a small group in free agency that are good players that everybody would like if they can afford them, right? And the rest are kind of guys that are the unloved, unwanted, and, maybe it'll work and maybe it won't. Same exact thing in the portal. So I think you look at that, and you look at the teams that benefited from the portal. I think, obviously, Ole Miss and clearly Ohio State. So, yeah, I look at it that way. Who had the best roster, then who helped themselves with the portal? That's when I looked at it.
Yeah, and I have to look at returning production because I think that's probably the key indicator for anybody to have success. So I primarily look at returning production. I'll give you an example. Florida State last year was either at or near the top in returning production. Before they had the Jordan Travis injury, they were rocking and rolling, okay? And they had I'm trying to think of the number. Anyway, they were in that top 3.
Could have beaten anyone in the country, no doubt about it.
Something in the neighborhood of like 85+% in returning production. So that means you're bringing a bunch of guys back on both sides of the football. You didn't have a whole lot of loss with either your coaching staff, coordinators, whatever. You got a lot of special teams guys back. That's the stuff that I'm looking at as much as anything. Obviously, like you said, Leon, if you got the quarterback, you got the cube, you got the coach, then there's no reason to not be looking at, like, Georgia, for me, is a prohibitive favorite because of the coach and the quarterback. Ryan Day has as deep a football team as you could possibly ask for, but do they have their quarterback? They brought that cat in, that Kansas State Wildcat in from the portal, and as Matt has said and maintained, just because they brought him in through the transfer portal doesn't guarantee that he's their starter. But I feel like he is.
I would be shocked if he wasn't their starter.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying they took the second best quarterback in Kansas State, is who they got.
Right.
Because he was not winning that job. That was not going to happen.
Right. And so, and you're of the thinking that basically he just looked around and said, I got to skedaddle.
I'm getting out of Dodge because Avery Johnson's winning the job. Avery Johnson is – watch Kansas State this year. Avery Johnson is a dude. He's fun as hell to watch. Yeah. So my guess is he thought, all right, at some point Avery Johnson's gonna win that job, and then I'm out. And it's my last year. What am I going to do?
Okay. And so that's really how we're looking at it, is the coach, the team they're bringing back, the guys that they were able to tackle in the transfer portal. And I'll say for Miami's part of this, they did about as good as anybody. You mentioned Ole Miss. We know what FSU has
Miami
done.
Did really well, actually.
Yeah, in the portal. Miami did.
Including Tyler Barton earlier this week, the former Tennessee and LSU edge, who's a big-time guy.
Yeah. And so those are the guys, and you're trying to figure out who the superstars are going to be from one team to the next as they kind of get this team put together. Because Keon Coleman, when he came to Tallahassee a year ago, you weren't quite sure what he was going to add up to. They already had Johnny Wilson. They had a number of other guys that they were counting on offensively to step in and do something. But you weren't quite sure that Keon was just going to mesh and meld with the rest of the team. So we will get into it today. College football, and it's our XLP CFP top 12. We'll have a little fun with it. I want to bring up one more thing before we hit our first break and get into it, because quarterbacks are popping up left and right with the OTAs that are taking place in the National Football League. And we were talking about Anthony Richardson yesterday. He's out. He's working. Looks like he doesn't have hardly any limitations. Deshaun Watson is back out and working. And he's a guy who's coming back from a fairly significant injury. And now you're taking a look at those guys coming back, the Joe Burrows of the world. Lamar, we talked about him yesterday, dropping weight. But now also the rookies are all getting in. And Sean Payton, if we can find the soundbite, we'll play it coming up in a bit. But he's talking about Bo Nix. And he talked about how much experience Bo Nix has as a college guy, because he played in over 60 games, Leon. And he likes the fact that he's come in mature, looking the part, and already has a good grasp of the playbook. He's not crowning him right away and saying he's a starter. But he's already a little in love with Nix.
Yeah. Well, we'll see week 1.
Yeah.
That's when it really matters.
I mean, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with him being in love with Bo Nix?
I don't they went to go get him.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the guy who was going to do cartwheels naked if he won the Heisman, remember?
Not naked. Stop it.
All right, it was a cartwheel. You're right. I added the naked
He did
part
add
to it.
the
But you
naked
did
part
say
to
you were going to do a cartwheel.
Did he win the Heisman?
Yeah.
No. Well, he played outstanding at Oregon, absolutely.
What if he's a starter day one? You gonna do a cartwheel?
No, he probably picked him 12th overall.
Yeah,
of
you're
course
going to try
he's
and
be the
bait him into that
starter.
again. I'm just
You
trying
just
to
want
get
me to tear my
I'm just trying to
ACL
get
or
you-
something. You want me to tear something, don't you? That's what you want. I tell you, friends like you don't need enemies.
All right, so, I look at it, and I'm just trying to figure out how many of these guys are going to be crowned, and we'll just use that term right now, because they don't have anybody there that's going to threaten it. In other words, take a look at what Denver has in their quarterback room. They got Zach Wilson. They got Jarrett Stidham. They don't have a whole hell of a lot. And so it's almost like you have to go ahead and –
Well, yeah, you have to crown them because essentially when you come in as a rookie quarterback, or any rookie that comes in, you're looking for mentors. Not sure Bo Nix can look to those guys for any advice. He might be on his own.
Yeah.
He might absolutely has to be on his own. I would. Would you take advice from any of those guys?
No.
In the quarterback room?
No.
Oh my goodness gracious! No.
And I'm still like a little.
No, I wouldn't.
I'm a little half and half. I loved Duck Bow, but War Eagle Bow not so much.
Not so much.
And so Duck Bow really good against Pac-12 defense.
Well, that goes to show you that some guys just need time. Because Auburn Bo was terrible. I watched those games, but he needed time to grow and develop. He got himself in the system, learned this, and played it well. I mean, some guys staying. Well, how long was Bo in school? 5 years, 6 years, something like that. Yeah,
60-plus games.
Yeah, 60-plus games, man. Experience is a hard teacher, but he learned from it.
Yeah, and he did. He certainly improved, and I really enjoyed watching him play the game. And it looks like his size, speed, ability to move, throw, all the stuff. He looks like he's that complete package. Now you just go to the next level and you find out whether or not that's going to get done. One other
the quote is, by the way, from Sean Payton, he's further along than any of us could ever imagine.
Yeah, that's glossing on a guy a little bit, and Sean Payton doesn't do that very often. But I think the one thing that might be slowing him down from just basically pronouncing him the starter is that franchise pronounced Russell the starter. The king of Mile High.
Right, but there's Jarrett Stidham and Zach
there.
Wilson's also in that quarterback room.
Yeah.
There's no doubt he's a starter.
Yeah, they have no choice. Meanwhile, there was at least some chatter coming out of Chicago that Caleb Williams did not look so hot in the first round of OTAs. So we'll just look at the rooks a little bit and have some fun with
People do realize that OTAs are practice.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Make mistakes and breaks in practice. So you can learn from
But it's also on air. So if you don't look too hot on air.
That's true too. That is true. But
yeah. So at least look and see what they're saying about Caleb.
I will.
It was kind of interesting because that's one that we'll definitely watch. That's for sure. All right. I said we will not do the bacon today, but I do appreciate it's the text says truly yours, the culture. From the culture, JoJo, you're officially invited to the cookout for that bacon comment. Because honestly, if you do not have a stiff slice of bacon and you want to go for the half cooked, fold it. And
don't do bacon like that,
don't
bro.
do bacon like
it's
that.
too important.
Yes, I agree with you. All right, we'll get into your Memorial Day cook, what you have planned recipe-wise, what you have planned for the day. Like we said, we want to salute our military. So if you have any that have served that we would love to recognize on XL Primetime, we will try and do that this afternoon.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Hey guys, I'm Greg McDowell, PGA Tour golfer, and you're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM. Cheers.
Discover luxury on your terms at Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville. Drive away today in style.
Boasting North Florida's largest selection of Cadillacs, we have your dream car waiting.
Experience the future with Cadillac Lyric, redefining luxury electric vehicles at the starting price of $44,988.
With over 50 to choose from, and this exclusive offer, the luxury of a Cadillac is more attainable than ever.
And rest assured, every Cadillac is backed by our dedication to outstanding customer service.
Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, plus tax tag title $899 admin fee and resist all.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
This week only, it's the Memorial Day clearance sale at Art of Natural Stone, with 2 locations on Beach Boulevard and on Phillips Highway. To make room for new product, they're offering clearance sale pricing on pavers, stones, gravel, and travertine. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your outdoor space with top quality materials at clearance sale prices. This week only at Art of Natural Stone on Beach Boulevard and on Phillips Highway, open Sunday and Monday.
Get grilling this Memorial Day weekend with Southern Steer. How about marinated steak tips, 5 pounds or more at just $16.99 a pound? Specials listed online run this week from Wednesday to Monday.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
Electricians, innovators, and tech enthusiasts, listen up. Miller Electric is shaping the future, and we want you to be a part of it. From healthcare and data centers, corporate offices, aviation, and industrial facilities, Miller Electric is powering the most exciting projects in Jacksonville and beyond. We offer not just a job, but a thrilling career with great pay and incredible benefits. Visit us at millercareers.com to apply. Miller Electric, where your skills meet our vision, and equal opportunity employer.
Jags fans, the schedule's finally here, and you don't want to miss these matchups. Whether you want to become a season ticket member, catch 3 or more games with a bundle at the bank, or experience the season with Prowl Pass, there's a plan for every fan. Get locked in by going to Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Experience Jaguars game day your way at the bank this fall.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, an avocado consultant from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Dave Ortega. Okay, Dave, here's your question. Your house is not bad in the morning, but by the afternoon, your AC can barely keep up, even with the curtains closed. What do you do?
Oh, can I buy a valve?
Not that kind of show, Dave.
Can I spin the wheel?
Yeah, we don't even have a wheel, Dave.
Can I phone a friend? Oh, can I call Bueller?
That's right, Dave. Call Bueller Air and Plumbing to assess your home's airflow and sunlight patterns and let us optimize your air conditioning so that you are cool.
This is the happiest day of my life.
Well, you gotta get out more, Dave.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Get ready to swing into the hottest party this summer. Join First Tee North Florida at the Yards June 13th for the Summer Soiree. We're bringing the spirit of the Pacific Islands to Ponte Vedra with a Hawaiian luau-themed event. Enjoy family-friendly fun, including Hawaiian food trucks, live music, craft cocktails, golf games, raffle prizes, and more. The First Tee Summer Soiree provides the perfect blend of golf, party, and philanthropy. All proceeds benefit the impactful programs of the First Tee. Visit firstteenorthflorida.org/summer soiree to secure your tickets today.
It's the coolest week to save during the summer fan sale at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Buy one fan, save 10%. Buy two, save 15%. Buy three or more and save 20% off all fans at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Showroom near the Avenues.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, this is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. You know, one time we had a hail bomb for 12 hours. When it was all over, I woke up. We didn't find one of them, not one stinking dink body. Smell, you know that gasoline smell. A whole hill. Smells like victory. Someday this war's gonna end.
Good stuff. Just really good stuff when you start to go back and think about just some of the great sound bites and sounds and vibes from, you know, what we kind of probably take for granted a little bit. You know, we think of old war movies and thank God we ain't got no war to worry about, okay? At least for the most part. That's just the best way I can put it right now. So, Mayport, NAS, Cecil Field, Craig Field, you name it, all of them. We love you. That's for sure. All right, it is XL Primetime. We need to get cranking. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Leon Searcy, RJ Saunders. We're going to put our XLP CFP top 12 together, and this is post-spring transfer portal and everything included. Like we said, we all have different pieces of criteria, but let's start rolling. RJ, you can float a little college football music underneath here, but Big Sirs, get us going. As usual, we're going to go 12-1.
12-1? All right, so Matt threw me a ringer. So I had to do a group of five.
Yeah. Right.
Group of five, right? So
he's a savage.
Yeah, he's a savage.
And by the way,
one of them is getting in.
Yeah, absolutely getting in.
And by the way, I could not jam UCF in there because they're no longer
they're not Big 12 now.
They are a Power 4 school.
They are. So my number 12 is Appalachian State. That's what I'm going with.
All right.
I'm going with them.
All right, my 12 is Liberty. Caden Slater, quarterback, is a terrific player, guy that a lot of Power 5 schools want. He stayed at Liberty because Liberty gave him a bag of cash. He's going to be he might be a first-round pick next year.
Yeah, I was going to go Coastal Carolina until the quarterback left, but I am actually with Matt. I have Liberty because I was torn. Because I'm sitting here trying to figure out exactly who would be coming out of the group of five. And you got a couple of other ones that have stepped up, like Tulane, and a couple of other ones have done well. But anyway, that's where I went. So that, we take care of our group of five. We just checked.
All right. At number 11. At number 11, I've got Florida State. I got Florida State. Got them in.
Buying DJU, huh?
I'm not buying. I'm buying Mike Norvell. All right. I am. You can say what you want to say. I know I'm a Miami Hurricane, but when I look at that product, the finished product, the first couple of years, struggle. But now, over the last, 2 years, he's 23-4 or some crazy number like that. And, you know, outside of being crushed in the Orange Bowl, I know that. But that team, that Florida State team, if they had their quarterback,
they could have beaten anybody.
They could have beaten anybody in the country.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, my 11 is Clemson. Crossroads year for Dabo. I mean, if they don't get to the playoff, there will be questions about how he's doing it. And, again, we talked about this at length. I like it because it's his personality. It's his philosophy. This is the way he wants to do it. And this is how he's doing it. And if you don't like it, then get someone else.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny because I could show you my list, and I had Clemson in there, and then I hit delete because we had to add the group of five in.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to put Miami in.
Oh.
Okay? I've got Miami. And the reason why I have Miami in is because I think they won this discussion. You just put Florida State in there.
Yeah.
I'm putting Miami in because they won that quarterback.
It's funny how we each have a different ACC team. I like it. I like it a lot,
and
actually.
They won that transfer portal battle with the quarterback being number one, but two other really good pieces.
You could easily make that argument.
Yeah, that's the direction I went in.
Okay. So number 10?
Yeah.
Number 10, I'm going with Mizzou. Going with Mizzou.
All right, I'll raise my hand. We doubled up.
Yeah, I'm
Doubled up?
You doubled up on Mizzou in number 10? Yeah.
All right, my 10 might surprise you guys. Alabama.
Okay.
Lost Caleb Downs, lost Caden Proctor, lost Seth McLaughlin, lost a slew of guys who would have been starters this year. A few of them are going to be starting for Florida State. You got a brand new coach, a lot of pressure. You got a talented quarterback that's adjusting to a new staff. This is going to be a difficult, on Alabama standards, difficult season for the Tide.
Yeah, can't argue with that. All right, so now let's go to 12, 11, 10.
We're at
number 9.
We're at number 9. Number 9, I'm going with Michigan. I got the Wolverines. I don't have them winning the Big Ten this year. I think Ohio State is stacked, but I still see them getting in the playoffs.
They lost a lot of players,
I know.
All right, JoJo.
I'm going to put Alabama in basically what we just talked about. I was wrestling with a couple of SEC schools as far as where I wanted to put them. And honestly, this is crazy to say, and you guys can rip me if you want, Crimson Tide fans. They have more questions than a couple of other SEC schools that you would never name ahead of them.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Alabama. I have no
Yeah.
problem.
All right, I'm going Notre Dame at 9. I love Riley Leonard, the addition of Riley Leonard. I think if he's healthy, Notre Dame's going to be a very difficult team to beat.
Yeah,
very
they are.
difficult. They're loaded.
I battled whether or not I was going to put them in or not. All right, go ahead.
All right. Number 8, Lane's the man, bro. I'm going with Ole Miss.
I do love the way.
Low, man.
Huh?
That's a little low.
Well, I mean,
I got 'em there, too.
You know who's going to win the SEC. We all know who's going to win the SEC, but they're going to get in. Absolutely.
I've got them in that 8
I like
spot.
what Lane is doing.
Yeah.
What have they done? What, back-to-back 10-win seasons?
Yeah. Two 10-win seasons in the last 3 years.
Wow. And they're doing that in
I should say
Mississippi.
double-digit win seasons.
He's getting great recruits to come to Ole Miss.
Yeah, and he's killing the portal.
Yeah. So I got Lane.
Yeah, and I got the Lane train as well. Lane Kiffin, whatever your opinion was of him, let's just say roughly a decade ago, for me, it's night and day what I thought of him a decade ago and what I think of him.
Oh, yeah.
I love me some Lane, Hotty Toddy, Jackson Dart, everything that they were able to do. They did lose some key pieces as far as the run game and whatnot, but they were able to bounce back with the portal. They did well there.
All right, my 8, I'm not buying we don't have any defensive tackles. I got LSU at 8. And they can protect, and they've got a quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier, who can sling it to some really good receivers. Great tight end. They're very deep at running back. I think they're going to be just like last year. They're just going to score, but they're going to be better defensively.
All right. Where we going? Number 7?
Number
7, I got the Fighting Irish.
Okay.
Notre Dame. I mean, they're still independent, so to get in the tournament, they've got to be in that top. And I think Notre Dame is going to be that school that is going to make it. I can't say. I looked at their schedule. Maybe one loss, 2.
He's upgrading the talent, man. Marcus Freeman is upgrading the talent. There's no doubt about it. His game day acumen is still a little in question. He's done some strange stuff.
Right.
But they've got talent, man. And now they got a quarterback. And if Riley Leonard's healthy again, they're going to be tough to beat.
All right. I have got – you got to include the Big 12 in this conversation. I've got Iowa State. I think they are –
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I do. They're looking good, honestly. And this goes back to my returning production. And that's a big thing for me. And Matt Campbell's regarded as a good coach, and they do have a hell of a lot of guys coming back. Take a look at the Big 12, kind of semi up for grabs because there's no Texas, there's no Oklahoma. So I'm trying to figure out who the next kingpin of the Big 12 is going to be, and I'm putting them in there. I'm only taking one out of there, but I'm putting them in there.
I got the Utes.
Yeah.
I got the Utes.
Okay.
I think Cam Rising's going to be healthy. He's in year 7 now. They're very solid across the lines of scrimmage. They're going to be the most physical team in that conference. They're going to bully people. I got the Utes winning the Big 12, getting in.
Okay. All right. That's hard to argue because I love Whittingham, so I can't counter it and say, oh, you're crazy. All right, let's get 6.
Number 6, I'm surprised y'all had them low. Bama's still Bama. All right. I got Bama at number 6. Milrose, I like that kid. He's going to have a breakout season. Bama's still Bama until you prove me otherwise. I got them at 6.
All right.
I just got the text.
I get that. I mean, I totally get that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. See, listen.
What text did you get?
Crow crow will taste good. Iowa State over Bama? In what world? I knew that was coming from Tide fan, that's for sure. All right, number 6, when you start thinking about where teams should fall, and this is a tough one because I'm wrestling back and forth between a couple of teams, and I'm going to put Brian Kelly and LSU in that 6th spot. I'm going to keep him out of the top 5 because I think, honestly, he's got it going. He's been able to clean things up defensively. It looks like he did lose a handful of really, really good players, but I love what Brian Kelly's doing down there. And Baton Rouge, he's a Southerner. I don't know if you guys know that.
He is now, right?
Yeah. So
All right. My number 6 is Penn State. Drew Aller's going to have a big season this year. You got Singleton and Allen in the backfield. They're really good at receiver. Tom Allen, the former Indiana coach, is now in the D.C. now that Manny moved on to Duke. They've got a lot of talent on defense, including maybe the best defensive player in the country. So, this has got to be the year it happens with Penn State. This has got to be the year where James Franklin, not only they get in the playoff, but they also make a little noise in the playoff.
The one thing that kind of at least gave me pause was yesterday everything's going on with a lawsuit against the head coach.
Right.
That's a pretty serious thing that's being leveled against James Franklin. So that's the only reason why.
It's also, by the way, you got to go read up about it. It's difficult to get into, but I can tell you this: it's a guy who's been fired.
Yeah, past team doctor that left, and anyway.
He didn't leave; he was fired, and now he's coming back and he's suing for X, Y, and Z.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
All right, my number 5 is Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I got Texas at number 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not a believer yet.
Quarterbacks, man.
You're not a believer yet?
Huh?
That's
top 5. That's pretty good.
Everybody else has got him 1 or 2, or
Hey, listen, my top 4 is gonna be very
All right,
interesting.
so I will put the Fighting Irish in the top 5 because I am a Riley Leonard fan. I am a Marcus Freeman fan. The schedule does, at the very least, set up a little bit. Yeah, and so I'm looking at that schedule as much as anything else. But anyway, I put Notre Dame in the top 5.
If he's healthy, they could go unbeaten with that schedule.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't mind that at all. My 5 is Ole Miss. I just love what they've done. They lost Junkins. They filled that hole. They've got 3 legit NFL receivers. Jackson Dart is a terrific quarterback. They're going to score. They're going to score like LSU scored last. It's going to be that offense is going to be similar to what LSU was doing last year. Defensively, they're better. I don't know if they're ever going to be like a dominant defense, but if you can score, you can get a couple stops a game, and you can score like they're going to be able to score, they're going to be difficult to beat.
All right, we're down to the Final Four, which is what it used to be as far as the 4 best teams. Let's get to it.
Number 4?
Yep.
Miami.
Oh, he did it.
I did it, yes.
Did it.
I'll put Miami, yes. If not now, when?
I feel like I'm dreaming right now.
If not
I
now,
honestly feel like I'm dreaming
when?
right now.
Hey,
you got
that's
the
right.
Canes
I got
at
the
4?
Canes at 4, yes.
Let me just tell you something. You ain't
I
winning
got them
shopping.
at 11-1, and I got to win the ACC championship.
I'm just gonna be JJ just for a moment here, bro. What are you doing?
Bro,
listen, my comment
all this talk.
is you ain't window shopping no more.
I ain't window shopping.
No, there's.
I'm
by the
buying.
way, yeah, there's no more window shopping.
I'm BOGO now. I'm BOGO. I'm buying in, baby.
Oh,
was it Cam Ward? Was it what you heard from Mario at
Cam
the
Ward?
Amelia Island?
Listen, Cam Ward, transfer portal guys, recruiting. I mean, all looks good.
Mario had this sneaky confidence
at some particular time, you can't just look at the table, the dinner table. You got to sit down and eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And, so
and if not now, when, bro?
Was I wrong that Mario had a little sneaky confidence?
He did.
Yeah.
It was troubling to me a little bit, but a little bit.
Let's not forget, he's got to prove
He's got
absolutely.
absolutely
he's like
got to
Nate.
prove it.
Same
And
thing.
I included him in this because of, like I said, they won the transfer portal in a lot of ways. I thought they did very, very well there, and I do have a dynamic quarterback. But, yeah, he's got to get it right. So just imagine if Miami is to beat Florida, which is what you have them doing basically, then they jet off and the other team's left behind. That could happen with Miami. If Florida were to beat them, I don't know whether they jet off or not because of the challenge of the schedule.
Guess what? 100 days to that game, bro. Today, 100 days.
100 days.
All right, so my number 4 is the Longhorn. And I love Sark, love yours. Peyton, little nephew, just keep making $1 million. Sit on the bench. I guess that's what they're doing. Arch, they don't need him, which is just crazy. 2 years into his college career, he may not play a snap unless Ewers gets hurt. But anyway, I got him in my Final Four.
My guess is I shouldn't say we all, because Leon clearly doesn't have the same Final Four. He's got Miami in his Final Four. I've got Ohio State at 4. Because there's a little hesitation right now with me with Ohio State because other than the quarterback, they have the best roster in college football, even better than Georgia's.
Yeah.
But that quarterback, man, I just don't know how Will Howard's going to play there. So I think on paper, if you look at Ohio State, they should win. They should win the national championship.
Yes, they should.
And
yes, they should.
They're going to need a smart and turnover-free season from Will Howard to do it. Not free, but 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He starts throwing 14, 15 interceptions, they're not winning the national title.
And the other part of this, let's just go ahead and hit 3 because I'll add this to it when I.
Well, my 3 is Kansas State.
K-State.
K-State, bro.
Holy cow! You are rocking the boat, man.
Hey, man,
I love it.
I love chaos.
and he's going for.
He's a big believer in Avery Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, you're looking for a wild card. I went wild card a little bit with Iowa State, just as far as a team coming out of the Big 12. He put a newbie, who's not a newbie, but in the conference to take that one. And so someone's going to take that one and probably earn a spot, but you've got them sky high, that's for sure. All right, so the next, my number 3 is I got Ohio State. And for a lot of the reasons that Matt listed, and 2 things jump out at me, is that if he plays the way McCord played last year, they're in trouble. I think he's better than that. I do think he's better than that.
I don't know by how much, honestly.
Right, but he is better. I have no problem saying that. But also Ryan Day is going to press. He's got to deliver this time because when he went and got Caleb Downs and some of these other guys come there, they are absolutely 100% stacked. I fall in love with one other school. That's the only reason why I put them.
By the way, they're not going to throw like they used to either. With Chip Kelly there, they're going to do a lot of that. What Oregon used to do, how they used to run the ball, the inside ISO stuff. Yeah, they're going to do a lot because Will Howard can run the ball.
All right, so let's save our last 2 because now we're going to set it up where it's 12 versus 1.
My three is Texas.
Oh, okay, you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so and with all the reasons.
All the reasons we said. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so let's get our last 2 up in just a second. We got Coach Campo coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. We'll get to some NFL talk, but you guys can chime in on that. I definitely have some good recipe suggestions that I want to bring up off the text line, along with those as we salute our service members on this Memorial Day weekend.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. Sports sounds better on radio.
I love it. I love it.
You get the most live sports on 1010XL.
Mia here. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you never miss a shot to cash in on a play. You can even live stream and bet on the games right from the sportsbook, giving you everything you'll need to decide. Cash out or let it ride. MyBookie really makes it easy to get paid with tons of boosted props and slam dunk parlays. And new boosts are now posted on the daily. It's more than just a sportsbook. Buzzer beaters, underdog upsets, and a community to share in all of the sweats. Give yourself a head start today and play with house money using promo code 1010XL when you make your first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to claim a limited time bonus when you sign up and make your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hey, David here with Royal Pest Services. Men, are you struggling in the bedroom? Do spiders and roaches have you scared? Visit RoyalPestServices.com and let us help you get that man card back. Guaranteed results on our first visit.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative.
with answers to the questions I'm asked the most. Yes, we are local, and no, I'm not hiring an actor to read these commercials. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all. This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 24, 1981, at the 65th Indianapolis 500, Bobby Unser took home the checkered flag as the winner. He is one of 10 drivers to win the 500 at least 3 times.
Hey, Hicken here for Zero Res. Like many of you, I love living in Jacksonville, where we have so many families who serve or have served in the military. I'm so grateful for their sacrifice to keep us safe. If you have a family member who is on active duty or is a veteran, now is the time to call Zero Res, because right now you get a 25% military discount on everything they clean. A thank you for your service. That's 25% off carpet cleaning, tile and grout upholstery, or Oriental rugs. Zero Res, man, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Beer, water, beer. That's a pretty good game plan when it comes to battling the summer heat. When you hit the beach, fishing hole, or golf course, make sure you hydrate. Anheuser-Busch is always up for a good time. Just remember to drink responsibly.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
Hey, Hicken here, and I want to tell you about Beach's Dermatology and my doctor, Dr. Metz. I've been going to Dr. Metz for, I don't know how many years, decades. I got the scars to prove it. Listen, Jets, I love the beach. I love to play golf. I love Florida. I love to go to my kids' games in the hot sun all weekend long. Summer is basically here, and the sun will be shining. Don't forget your sunscreen. Trust me on this. You need to go get checked out today. It's more important than you think. Give Beach's Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
What, sir?
James. Earn this. Earn it.
You know, we're playing sounds from war movies, songs from war movies, and we got into our college football countdown, and we were just delivered some news. And I know of no other way other than to say it because it's news, it's the sports world, it's Duval, really through and through. And I'll try and say it without getting too emotional.
Right.
David Lamb has passed away. And if you're driving in your car, as you're sitting in your office, if you're someone who's consumed sports radio for a long time, you're probably leaning in and going, what? David Lamb, who I would consider, say, 3 central figures when it comes to sports radio in Jacksonville. The first being Jay Solomon. Jay Solomon, for my money and my recollection, was the godfather of sports radio in Jacksonville. He believed in it. He proved it would work. And he was tirelessly on the pursuit to make sure it succeeded, and he enjoyed every minute of it. And then you got David Lamb and Frank Frangie, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the pyramid for me of sports radio. And we all know that, you know, Frank will be in here this afternoon, and I'm sure he will have plenty to recall. And I don't know how to properly eulogize David Lamb on the air, but just first, I loved David. And we hosted a show together. I was his co-host for 10 years on one station, for 3 years on this station, 13 years together. And I'll say it with a laugh right now. When you saw David at 6 a.m., it was a little scary, okay? It was a little scary. But I just brought him up the other day, and someone said, how's he doing? I said, you know, he's hanging in there. He can't move around as much. He's not where he once was. But he outlived what a lot of people might have thought because he was a big man, but he had a big heart. Just this last Christmas, he still did his Santa Lamb. But he had so much to do with Jacksonville in the sport in terms of growing the city and its relevance in the sporting world.
Yeah,
Think about that.
A graduate from North Carolina, moved here and started at the Times-Union. Was a columnist at the Times-Union. Yeah. Respected columnist throughout the Southeast, part of that Skywriters tour group that used to go during the preseason college football when college football was much bigger than the NFL. He was it. He was the voice of sports in this city, and really the voice of sports kind of in Northeast Florida, Southeast Georgia, and throughout the South. Everybody knew Lamb.
Yeah.
Like to this day, I don't walk and see Paul Feinbaum without him saying, "Hey, how's Dave doing?"
Yeah.
How's Dave? Tell him I said hey.
And the Sunshine Network made him, even bigger than this market, Leon. But and obviously being a columnist. But I'll go to the grave remembering the stories that he told me that helped me understand sports radio and what Jacksonville was all about. He came from Rocky Mount, but when he came in here in the late 70s, he embraced this city. This city embraced him one way or another. He had his enemies, but he had so many fans that absolutely loved the hell out of him because he told it just like it was. And you and I were walking down the hall a minute ago, and you can go back to
I remember going on this show. I appreciated guys like Lamb because they were real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When we were bad, he told us we were bad. He didn't pucker up. He just shot the real, and that's what I always my fondest memory about him is that his authenticity. How real he was as a sportscaster, as a columnist, all that kind of stuff. So I enjoy going on this show. You recall one time I was supposed to be on your show, and I was asleep. And I guess I called my wife and said, "Hey, Leon's supposed to be on the show." She said, he's asleep. He said, "Well, yeah, he told us to call this time." He said, "Well," she said, "I'm not waking him up." Yeah, I remember that.
And she was real.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. And I think we got Leon the next day.
Yeah, you got him next day.
And then David would probably go into the locker room the day after that and probably get on Leon.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And so to his wife, Boo, and to Thomas, and, of course, Alex, Big Al, who we did a show together, and Wawa. I mean, I just have so many Lamb memories, and I'm sure many people will as well. So
the road trips with him were just phenomenal.
And look,
phenomenal.
At some point, I will, tell a story or two over the air, but now is not necessarily. But he was just a great storyteller, gregarious.
Yep. Laugh, golly, laugh.
And to what Leon said, he told like it was. It was his feelings. He was not going to be confused
in any way in the world. Like when he was talking to you, whether he was talking to a professional player, he was stating it how he was stating it, and that's it. There was no gloss on anything.
The last time I saw him, I don't think he smoked cigars, but he always chews it.
Yeah.
He always had that cigar in his mouth chewing it. That'll be the fondest memory I have of him. That he wasn't a cigar smoker, but he just liked cigars.
And we go back, I want to say at least four or five addresses of radio stations. And this was way back on Bay Meadows Road, and he decided to quit smoking. And he smoked his last cigarette in the morning, probably flicked it out the back door and then mashed it, and then said, I'm done. He didn't do anything else. He just quit. But he loved his cold beer, loved his barbecue, loved everything. So listen, that's a sad day when you hear that. 78, because his birthday and my grandmother they were either 2 days apart, either July 16th or July 18th.
Yeah, I knew it was the summer birthday. Yeah,
July 16th or July 18th, and he was the same age as Spurrier, and so 78.
Spurrier just turned 79.
Yeah, lived a great life, that's for sure. We'll have Dave Campo in. I'm sure Dave remembers some memories going back in time in the 3 o'clock hour. I have to head off to the PGA Tour, but rest in peace. And now Lamb Chops I don't know, what will he do? He'll go up there and play some golf, but he'll probably get a microphone in front of him so he can tell everybody what to think.
He'll play some golf with no pain is what he'll do. Yeah, that's the best part.
We love you, Uncle Dave.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz.
1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Hey there, all you sports dads rocking the best dad bod possible. We love seeing you eat tacos by the handful, and we love it when you bring your kids here too. For years, Lucy claimed that her favorite thing on the menu was sopapillas, with big scoop ice cream. I know that's not a taco, but that never stopped her. I was shooting for Dad of the Year anyway, so I just let it happen. Taco Lou's a great place to bring the family. There's something for everyone, as long as it starts with a taco. And a margarita for mom is always a good thing. At Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Your cooling system isn't working. Maybe somebody showed up with a portable electronic device. Then they discussed with you what your options are. Maybe they gave you an estimate that seems like an awful lot of money. What's the smart thing to do? When the situation merits a second opinion, get a Mike Merritt opinion. Yes, the Mike Merritt Comfort Team shows up with hand tools. We've never been able to fix an air conditioning problem with a tablet. Mike Merritt has been the trusted name for more than 30 years because there's never any hocus pocus. The Merritt team will walk you through the diagnostic steps up close and personal and show you exactly what you need. And the Mike Merritt price is likely to be far less because there's never an overtime charge, and the Merritt team doesn't work on commission. So remember, when it comes to the health of your cooling system, a second opinion can only help, and a Mike Merritt opinion can save you money. Florida license CACO 50384.
Hi, I'm David Lane, your average everyday Joe. I'm 5 months out of my back surgery with Southeast Orthopedic, and I'm doing great. Thanks to Dr. Herford and his staff at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and I've been telling you about Fenwick Home Services for a while now. Well, spring is here, and that to-do list isn't going away. But I'm not stressing because when I need them, I know Fenwick Home Services is there 24/7 with cooling and plumbing solutions to fit my budget. Whether it's minor upgrades or major repairs, they get it done right the first time. So schedule your seasonal AC tune-up today and avoid costly breakdowns. Don't hope you won't have a problem. Plan to make sure you don't. Book now at FenwickHomeservices.com/radio. That's FenwickHomeservices.com/radio.
This is Joe C. from XL Primetime and stoked to crank up the 9 after 5 once again at the Golf Club of Southampton. Every Wednesday, a little after 5, the gang at Southampton will be hosting us with a new game, and I'm inviting you to be a part of it. Now, through the summer stretch, break up the week with a little hump day fun every Wednesday. Call 287-PLAY to get on the tee sheet. There'll be food afterwards and prizes, including playing for a membership at the Golf Club of Southampton. Call 287-PLAY and hit the tee with Joe C.
I know you want maximum equity from your home, but you're not quite sure how when it comes time to sell it. I'll tell you how. I'll give you two hows, Chad and Sandy. More on that in a second. It's a tougher market now. It means it's crucial to hire the right agents to sell your home to maximize price, and we have been telling you now for years, and why I'm recommending Chad and Sandy Newman at chadandsandy.com. They've got the plan and experience to sell your home fast for maximum cash. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time, but most importantly, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Take Mary in Panther Creek. My dream was to move from my Panther Creek home into a new Del Webb Sweetwater home closer to my family. Chad and Sandy made it happen. They sold my own home in just 14 days, plus they helped me get into my new dream home at the same time. Call the Jacksonville experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy at 414-6200, 904-414-6200, or chadandsandy.com.
I'm RJ Saunders with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. 4-10-10 XL. Jacksonville baseball played 2 full games of ASUN Championship Pool B play on last night, falling short to Central Arkansas by a final score of 10-7 in the 2:30 p.m. matchup. That loss forced the Dolphins to play an elimination game with Lipscomb in the second battle of the day, where JU emerged victorious. Jacksonville will welcome a rematch with Central Arkansas in the Pool B bracket final. First pitch is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. After playing 4 straight games against the same opponent, FSU faced and defeated Virginia today, a team they had yet to face all year, by a final score of 12-7. The Noles will advance now to the semifinals, which will be played on Saturday. Currently 91 degrees at 3:02. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, this is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Go! What's your sole purpose in this army?
To do whatever you tell me, drill sergeant.
Gump, you're a genius. That's the most outstanding answer I've ever heard. You must have a damn IQ of 160. You are gifted, Private Gump.
All right, we're back. Second hour of XL Primetime. It's a Memorial Day weekend. We honor the fallen of this fantastic country. And we would be remiss if we didn't once again state the news, the recent news that we heard. David Lamb, a Jacksonville sports legend, has passed away. Very difficult time right now. We all love Lamb. I'm sure if, those who've listened to talk radio for the last 30, 40 years in this city know all about David Lamb. If you read the Times Union as well, you read him every day in the Times Union. Just a talented guy, but even more, just a fun, happy, smart, just great personality. I mean, his personality was just so rare and so unique. Just a fun dude. We got a great text, by the way, from a guy on the text line, brought to you by our good friends at Lifetime Enclosures. David Lamb saw the current state. This is from the 576. David Lamb saw the current state of the CFB transfer portal, the flops in the NBA, the terrible batting average in baseball because every at-bat is either a strike or a home run, the giant foam NFL helmets, and he just said, nah, I'm good, and peaced out. And you know what? I can guarantee you all that stuff that he just said and a few others that I couldn't say, I can guarantee you Lamb was like, what in the world is going on in sports right now?
Facts.
He's not alone. All right, I'm Matt Hayes. He's Leon Searcy. Joe Cowart off to the PJ Tour duties. We bring in our coach, Dave Campo. Dave, Memorial Day weekend. Before we get going, before we get into football, because we're going to circle back to a topic yesterday that was like making the text line crazy. We were getting into the yard markers, the new electronic yard markers. It's Memorial Day weekend. What's on your grill this Memorial Day weekend?
Hot dogs and hamburgers. I'm easy.
Just
throw them on there and start eating. That's all. I don't have anything fancy. A little few baked beans here or there,
Right.
and some coleslaw,
right?
And I'm ready to roll.
See, Matt and Joe, coach.
Oh yeah, I heard them.
You heard that, y'all. They got butt and brisket going on,
and they got wraps.
and
And all
Yeah,
that
this
stuff.
guy on the text line gave us this unbelievable onion bomb, he called it.
Remember, you're going to ask me about some of this new technology. I'm old school. I want a hot dog and a hamburger.
There you
That's
go, Coach.
it.
And that's
there
it?
you go.
That's
now, you're
it.
still using the bun, right? You're not one of those guys that doesn't use buns anymore.
Well, see, I am on a little diet, so I got to be careful. But you can't have a hot dog without a bun. Come on now.
All right, good, because you were going to scare me there. You were going to say, I've given up the buns.
Yeah, that would be sacrilege.
Yeah, that's
hot dog without butter.
sacrilegious. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
all right. So
exactly.
I want to get into this real quick, okay? And by the way, this also would make Lamb crazy. This electronic yard marker. The The NFL plans to experiment with electronic measurements for first downs instead of the traditional sticks and chains, okay, in the preseason. All right? And if all goes well, they will use it in the season. Of course, all is going to go well. I mean, of course, how could it not go well, right?
Right.
So the question now becomes is, where are we right now? Are we heading down the slope of, all right, we're taking officials out of the game? You being the former NFL head coach, I'm sure you've had many run-ins with officials where you thought they blew calls, and they still do to this day. There's no doubt about that. What are your feelings on this? Do we need that kind of human element in the game?
Well, let me start this way. I never met an official that I liked. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay?
Like a true coach.
But it's part of the game. You know, I went to a jumbo shrimp game the other night, and they're using testing where the umpire gets told whether it's a ball or a strike, and then he calls it.
Get out of here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Well, who's making the call?
It's technical, whatever.
AI?
Yeah, whoever's, they got some kind of a laser on the deal. And so when you talk about a football being put on laser for a first down, I don't like them. I mean, I'm old school, like I said, and I really appreciate the fact that the game is not, you can't just legislate everything to AI and all these different things. I mean, it's a game of, a guy makes a bad call, you argue with him. That's part of it. You yell at the official. That's part of it.
It's part of the fabric of the game, is it not?
If it's a first down, you got guys running down there to see if it's a first down or not.
Yeah.
That's all part of the game, in my opinion.
It's also, and Leon, you could speak to this too, some calls will live forever. Miles Jack wasn't down, will live forever.
Absolutely.
There are guys that have that on their casket when you put them 6 feet under, they have. Miles Jack wasn't down. They live forever. It's part of like the fabric and the lore of the game, right, Leon?
Yeah, absolutely. A blown cause or a part. Listen, football is not an exact science. All right, that's what makes it so. That's why it's the #1 sport in America, because of the human element about the game. The hits. I mean, the wins, the losses. Listen, I remember Coach Johnson in 1988 when we lost to Notre Dame, and the famous Catholics versus Conflicts. When he came in the meeting room, he told us. He said, "I told you, if you leave it in the ref's hands down the stretch, they're going to take it away from you in South Bend." So you know what he basically was telling us? You should have blew him out. So now the ref, the element of the ref blowing the call is not even a factor. Right. So I mean, and listen, that phantom fumble of Cleveland Gary
and the first down,
that will live in infamy down the University of Miami fans. They will go to their grave remembering that.
Right, and Notre Dame loves it.
Absolutely.
And Notre Dame, it's one of the greatest plays in the history of the program.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So I mean, you can't take that away.
Yeah, I just think that, but that's the direction everything is going, though. I mean, they used to be in horse racing that they had to make a decision on whether this horse won or that horse won. Now they got the camera on it, and they make that decision. That's the way it's going. But it's just like everything else. People talk about this AI. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard people say pretty soon that there's going to be no humans. It's going to be all robots running around here. So, I mean, who knows? Again, I'm an old timer. So
we'll be long gone by then, all right? Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
So here's my thing is, the old chain gang will be, and that'll be the backup for the game. But they're not going to be on the sidelines with them. It's not going to be, okay, here's the electronic one, and the chain game's right behind it. My guess is the chain game's going to be rolled up and put away in a box somewhere, and then if something happens, they'll pull it out, right?
Yeah.
So we're dealing with electronics here, all right? We're dealing with whatever you want to call it inside the football, transmitter, whatever, that puts this infrared web around the ball that the laser can see. That's how they're going to do it. So what happens if on a big play, all of a sudden the transmitter goes bad, right?
And there's no chain.
Right, and there's no chain.
I mean,
so then I guess that's just the human element.
Where are they going to put it? This transmitter, where are they going to put it? They're going to lay it on train tracks along the football field, and it's going to move up and down as the ball goes?
No. It'll be like the actual. This is just my guess. I haven't seen it yet. What they're going to do? My guess is they're going to have the 10-yard poles, but they're not going to be chains. it's just going to be one of the lead pole is going to have like a laser in it.
Oh.
Well, they probably both will.
And there's a
And then there's
microchip
like
or something.
There's something in the ball
ball
that wraps around the ball, that puts a
yeah.
web around the ball, and you figure out where it is. And
Wow.
I don't know. Again, if you're a pure, I want to make sure that every call is exact. Maybe that's it. But when you start dealing, it's just like with computers. You're working computers, man, they can do everything. And then all of a sudden, right in the middle of something, the computer goes down. What do you do? Same thing you're talking about.
But I guess my point is this, and Leon and I were talking about this yesterday too, is if you're going to do that, all right, and I don't like it, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's
it
the
just
way
is
I
what
am.
it is,
I mean,
right?
it is, yes.
So, but if you're going to do that, why wouldn't it then be right at the goal line? You've got the same thing at the goal line. There's a transmitter at the goal line. The ball touches it when it's going over. For all that, not only for a touchdown, but in case it's ball's fumbled in the end zone and it's a touchback, all those things, right? Why wouldn't you do it for that? Why wouldn't you do it for punts?
Yeah.
Because there's no chance in hell that any official knows where those punts go out of bounds. Right. It's all a guessing game.
Yep.
So why wouldn't you do it for that? Why wouldn't you put a laser on top of the goalpost so you don't have a situation where did it go through? Was it good or not?
No, I think you're absolutely
If
right.
you're going to do it, just do it.
That might happen. I mean, I think that's the direction things are going, to be honest with you.
And that doesn't scare you at all.
Well, no, I mean, it is what it is. It scares me. I don't like it, but it
the lights went out in the Super Bowl once.
Yeah, I know.
Recently, too.
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah.
What if electricity
Anything
goes
can
out
happen.
and as they're booting back up?
That's what I'm saying. What happens if the
all
computer
goes out,
What happens if
baby.
the computer shuts down? What do you do?
And then this is like 5 years into this thing, okay? And the electricity goes out for whatever reason. You got a storm or whatever, okay? Electricity goes out, boots back up, and it's not working. And then all of a sudden, you've got officials on the field that have no idea how to work any. Well, I don't know how to do. Do you know how to do the yard marker? I don't know, Dave. Do you, Fred? I don't know. I didn't do it. I've been only here for 4 years.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I can see the problems, but I can also see the direction that everything is going.
All right, let's move. Let's move on to the actual games on the field. Caleb Williams allegedly, according to guys who have seen him throw in OTAs, struggling a little bit. Again, it's just OTAs, but I wanted to ask you, as a former NFL head coach, how important are OTAs? And if you've got a guy, a first-round pick, a top 10 pick, I don't care if it's a quarterback, wherever, if he's just struggling a little bit in OTAs, is that a concern at all?
Well, first of all, the OTAs are really important because what it does is it really shows that's a time of experimentation. You want to see, like, for example, with the Jaguars, they got a new defensive staff. So they want to see how can I put those pegs into the hole.
Right.
Can a guy be a nickel back and an outside corner? Can he be a safety and be a nickel back? All those kind of things. There's no depth chart, really. You're looking to see who your players are and what they can do. Plus, they're really important to me, and I'm going to answer your question in a second, but they're really important to me because you throw everything at them at the beginning and see what guys can do, taking it from the meeting room to the field.
So you don't slowly feed no OTAs?
No, heck no.
Really?
No, you put it all in there because you want to know going in, hey, we got a rookie here. This guy knows
what's the absorption level, basically?
He knows the playbook better than our starter over here. We better get going with this guy. So, that's really important. And then what it does is you put everything in and then you do it again in training camp exactly the same way. In other words, so they're doing it twice, and then you do it in the preseason games. Basically, guys are doing it 3 times before they actually have to play a game. So that's why I like it as much as anything. Now, as far as Caleb Williams is concerned, that doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't bother you. You look at the guy and you say, hey, look, we've seen his talent. We know what he has shown. We just have to make sure he sees enough in OTAs and training camp that he can perform. Maybe he won't be. Not everybody is Stroud.
Right.
Not everybody's just going to come in and all of a sudden they're going to look like, now all of a sudden he's an MVP candidate after 1 year. Not everybody's going to do that. Mm-hmm. But you get a feel for a guy and what he can handle. That's the position where you can really get a feel on what a guy can handle going into the start of the season. You know, it's a little easier for a receiver, you know, if he knows 3 routes, but he doesn't know the 4th and the 5th one.
Right.
That is a quarterback going out there and knowing the offense and being able what he can run, you know, during the course of a game. So I think it's important. I think it's more for evaluation than it is anything else. And it's also, and Leon can talk on this, anytime you have your offensive line together, whether it's OTAs or whatever it is, they work together. So the familiarity of who's lined
Chemistry,
up next
yeah.
to them
Yeah.
and all those things are extremely important.
Yeah, we
in my
work
mind.
together. We're roommates most of the time doing training camp, that kind of stuff. Yeah, because we understand that all 5, we're not separate entities.
Right.
All right. So we're one fist. All right. We're collectively. If one of us look bad, then everybody goes bad. That's why. That's the reason. But there's another reason why coaches do that. They give you so much information because coaches can tell who's doing their homework and who's not. Because you got to remember, you got a lot of free time. Now you got to remember, you're new money. All right, you're new money, and coaches know guys who have money have a tendency to want to hang out about because you got all this free time about you. So coaches throw out all their information to you to see who's going to sit there and do their homework because you've got to be able to take all that information and then translate it onto the field. And if you missing blocks or you missing routes or you missing breakdowns, coaches know because they go over everything. That's their job to take care of the details of every protection, every coverage, every block, all that kind of stuff. And guys who struggle are the guys who don't put the time in. And coaches know. And
you also have a different situation when it's a new staff. Like Nielsen and that group.
Right.
You know, he's not only seeing what the rookies can do, he's seeing what everybody, he doesn't know any of those guys really until they go through, you know, the OTAs and the training camp and the season, you know, so it's important. There's no question about it.
All right, so then let's look at this from another entry point here. Bo Nix, Sean Payton says he's further along than any of us could have imagined. So by him saying that, is he talking about his understanding of the offense, his understanding of the verbiage of what they're doing, their protections, all of that? Is it more than just him being able to throw accurately? It's all of that stuff, right? And
yes.
And if that's the case, if the idea is that Caleb Williams is struggling, it may not be so much him throwing the ball, maybe other things as well, right?
Correct. And again, you know, some guys are going to be farther along than others, and you know the association between, you know, they're not in OTAs, they're not going live, but they do have a rush. In other words, this guy's coming, and you just know you're not going to get hit.
Right.
So there is an adjustment period to see, you know, Trevor's gone through it. You know, how quickly do I have to get the ball out? Though, you know, sometimes in a college level, they don't have to worry about that. How, you know, what's my separation between you and me on throwing the football? I'm here to catch the ball. The DB he's catching the ball. I'm a little closer here than it was at Oregon or USC or whichever one you're talking about.
Right.
So it's a lot of things. I mean, that's why to me it's a big learning experience for everybody, including, as Leon said, the coaching staff.
All right, we need to go to a break. We're going to come back. I want to talk about the Jags OTAs and specifically what a couple guys can do this early in the process to kind of show themselves and show that they are worthy of a starting job, including a guy who Leon has been saying for the last couple of months. It's time for Walker Little to say, that's my job at left tackle.
Right.
All right, it's XL Primetime.
XL Primetime's Coach Dave Campo is brought to you by Bold City Heating and Air. Online at boldcityac.com. Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealers Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. It started with a dream.
I wanted to be a senator.
I wanted to be a florist. International House Pancake.
And it turned into The Franchi Show.
Are we ready? Yes. Good.
Afternoons on 1010XL.
Discover luxury on your terms at Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville. Drive away today in style.
Boasting North Florida's largest selection of Cadillacs, we have your dream car waiting.
Experience the future with Cadillac Lyric, redefining luxury electric vehicles at the starting price of $44,988.
With over 50 to choose from, and this exclusive offer, the luxury of a Cadillac is more attainable than ever.
And rest assured, every Cadillac is backed by our dedication to outstanding customer service.
Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, plus tax tag title $8.99 admin fee and resist all.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I am Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today, or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
The Sign and Drive Green Tag event continues, offering 0% for 84 months with no money down on a John Deere compact utility tractor with loader. Limited time offer. Visit your local Ag Pro today. Offer ends May 31st, 2024. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Quarterbacking can be complicated. Denny Thompson simplifies it for us.
Yeah, I want to tell you what's really happening at the quarterback position.
Friday mornings on The Drill, brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
Get this. Joey and me were supposed to go to this concert next week, right? But then something terrible happened. Joey was driving without a seatbelt. But he didn't wreck. No, he got pulled over. Now Joey has to pay for a seatbelt ticket instead of a concert ticket, and I have to go by myself. How lame is that? So Joey, if you're out there, you're an idiot. Wear your seatbelt or you'll get a ticket.
All across the country, cops are cracking down. Click it or ticket, day and night.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Hey, Hicken here for Zero Res. Like many of you, I love living in Jacksonville, where we have so many families who serve or have served in the military. I'm so grateful for their sacrifice to keep us safe. If you have a family member who is on active duty or is a veteran, now is the time to call Zero Res, because right now you get a 25% military discount on everything they clean. A thank you for your service. That's 25% off carpet cleaning, tile and grout upholstery, or Oriental rugs. Zero Res, man, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
I'm Taylor Rose with our Remedy Staffing Westside office off of Normandy Boulevard. We are helping great people find great jobs. Remedy has helped some of the best employers in Jacksonville find talented job seekers like you for over 25 years. Our current job openings range from entry-level distribution center pickers to equipment operators. Apply today at remedygoodjobs.com. Don't wait. Apply at remedygoodjobs.com now.
Mia here. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you never miss a shot to cash in on a play. You can even live stream and bet on the games right from the sportsbook, giving you everything you'll need to decide, cash out or let it ride. MyBookie really makes it easy to get paid with tons of boosted props and slam dunk parlays. And new boosts are now posted on the daily. It's more than just a sports book. Buzzer beaters, underdog upsets, and a community to share in all of the sweats. Give yourself a head start today and play with house money using promo code 1010XL when you make your first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to claim a limited time bonus when you sign up and make your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
If you're an experienced, skilled plumber or welder that's MedGas certified and you're tired of working for a company that just doesn't treat you right, Local 234 is the place for you. Their pay is the best in the business. You'll walk away with $35.09 an hour in your pocket. With benefits, that's just over $50 an hour. Local 234 has been around since 1901, and that means something. Visit UA234.com to send your resume.
Local 234. Make the right connection.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels for Big Chief Tire. For over 60 years, Big Chief has been known for fair prices and quality service you can trust. Whether you drive an electric vehicle or a traditional car, they carry the best tire brands to keep you safe on the road. If you're ready to experience great service without breaking the bank, visit BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment at any of their 5 locations. 904-932-0950.
Warm weather means the beach, fishing, golf, and more. Make sure to drop into Daly's and grab a cold case to go. From Bud Light to their seltzer, from Mick Ultra to Modelo, or your favorite crafts like Old City or Sweetwater. Grab and go at your local Daly's.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, this is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
Is there something wrong?
Yes, ma'am. The data on the MiG is inaccurate.
How's that, Lieutenant?
Well, I just happened to see a MiG-28 We happened to see a MiG-28 do a 4G negative dive.
Where did you see this?
That's classified.
It's what?
It's classified. I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
All right, we're back on Primetime. It's a Memorial Day weekend. We're getting closer to kicking it off to honor all of our fallen heroes. Also, again, be remiss if we didn't remind everyone some sad news today. David Lamb passed away. Jacksonville sports legend. Just a talented guy, funny guy. Just loved Lammy to death. I can tell you this before we get further, because I want to get into the OTA stuff, but one of the best moments that I've had in my professional career was early on in the 90s when I was covering Florida for the Times-Union, and we'd go on the road trips, and Lammy was there with his buddy AJ from Gator Plumbing. And those two, I mean, AJ was like the craziest Gator fan ever, like living and dying with every single play. And he and Lammy, you know, we'd be at the bar the day before the game, and they'd be having too many, and just the laughing and the stories, and that dovetails right into the 386 from the text line. The most classic Lamb was in the early 80s when he did a Lamb at Large cable access show once a week on the Jack's cable service. He did a bit where he played his fictional twin brother, Blabbermouth Lamb, who was a classic, and dashed all the sports gossip that he really wasn't supposed to tell anyone, but was just telling you because he knew you could keep a secret. That was one of the many classic Dave Lambs. We'll miss you, brother. Rest in peace. All right, let's. And I'm sure Lamb would want us to. Let's move back into sports. The OTAs, and Coach, I want to ask you this because Leon's been talking about this now for about 2 months with Walker Little. He's in a contract year. He's in year number 4. I mean, this is it. I mean, if you're in your contract year, you certainly don't want to be sitting on the bench in your contract year. You don't want to be seen as the guy that plays a swing tackle and get paid that swing tackle contract. Leon says, go get it. And my question to you is, can you do something in OTAs to clearly show the staff, I'm not fooling around. I'm going to win that job?
Well, first of all, you can't. I don't think you can solidify. No,
not that.
job.
I mean, but just like put it in their head.
His attitude and how he goes about his business. A lot of it when you talk about, how tough a guy is how fast he runs drills, how efficient he tries to do what Rauscher, the offensive line coach, is teaching him. The biggest thing to me is he's got to prove, number one, that he's ready to take the next step, which means that he's got to know the scheme. It's not going to be that much different from what they did last year and this year, so he ought to be ahead of the game as far as that's concerned. I think different positions have a better chance to do what you're talking about than the linemen do. For example, Larry Brown, we had him back in the day with the Cowboys, MVP of Super Bowl 30, 12th round draft pick. He intercepted Troy Aikman 2 or 3 times in mini camps and OTAs. So he showed us that he had something. And then, obviously it went on from there. So Walker Little's in a position where, when those pads come on, he got to step it up. That's the biggest thing to me.
Yeah, it's going to be hard doing the OTAs because you're essentially on air. All right, now Josh Allen being on his side, them competing, maybe you'll open the eyes of to the coaching staff when y'all get the pads on, when you do the one-on-ones and the team and all that kind of stuff. But right now, all he can do is just be in the best shape. Like you say, he knows the offense, he knows how to work on your technique, because he should be coming in with the mindset that, listen, I need to take this position from Cam Robertson. He has to come in there.
It's a business decision.
It's a business decision.
Yes, absolutely.
You're a young, amazing talent who right now they got you penciled in to be a swing tackle. And if you're a swing tackle, you're going to get swing tackle money. If you're an elite offensive left tackle, then you get elite offensive tackle money. But right now he's in a conundrum. Right now, to be honest with you, he's got to go in there. Right now he's the third tackle.
And like Leon said, there is some competition. Don't get me wrong. I mean, when they're going to go one-on-one without pads on. Well, with pads on, but they're not. It's not the same as getting in training camp when it's really live.
Right.
So he's going to have an opportunity to show whether or not he can handle Walker Little Trayvon Walker and
Josh Allen.
Josh, yeah.
Two pretty good guys to show you can handle. Like, if you can handle either one of those guys, you're pretty much at an upper level playing wise, right?
Yeah, and another thing that he has to succumb or surpass is the fact that, quite frankly, the coaching staff trusts Cam more.
Yeah.
They do.
Which I don't know why, because every time he's started at left tackle, he's played well.
I know.
Unless they're seeing stuff we don't see.
Yeah, I mean, because right now in Trevor trusts, probably trusts Cam more as well. I mean, that's a security blanket. That's his blind side protector. So, I mean, he's got an uphill battle. He's got to climb. But, financially, you're talking about 25 to 100. So it's a $75 million difference.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
There's a lot of money involved right now for him.
Absolutely.
As far as, do I win the job or am I sitting?
Yeah.
My concern with him is, just listening to him talk and the whole thing. I mean, you can't know exactly how the guy is. But my question is, and don't get mad at me out there, is he a Stanford guy only? Does he have the mentality that we had with the Miami Hurricanes?
Is he a dog, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Basically.
And that. To the game.
Yeah, he brings a different energy. Yeah. I think the coach, like Coach said, that's kind of infectious to the team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, Walker, he's got to be a dog. That's it. He's got to already make up in his mind that I'm going to take this position.
You're going to take it away. That's it. That's what he said.
But that dog's not in you.
No.
Can't teach it.
No.
You can't teach it.
All right, so this actually is a perfect segue into what I wanted to ask David about, and it's for you obviously as well, Leon, because you'll see why. So I'm working this morning, and I've got the NFL Network on the background, and it's the Cowboys and the Bills in the '94 Super Bowl. And I'm looking at that Cowboys offensive line. Man, that was a hell of an offensive line. They were big dudes across the board, and they were athletic. They were mobile. I mean, Big Nate Newton was pulling and crushing people. So what can you do? Clearly, the offensive line is probably the weakest link in this team. Okay, I think we could all agree on that, right? Mm-hmm. Of all the positions, that's the weakest link on this team. That and corner, really, if you think about it. So what can they do in OTAs to begin the process of those five who they say only played one game, so we don't really know what we got, one game together. What can they do in OTAs, that five, to start the process of, all right, let's have some kind of not only chemistry but an attitude on that line? Because it's the same guys.
Yeah. I think the way they look at the offensive line here, the way they're looking at it, since they only made really one change. I mean, Cleveland is another guy, but he was here.
He's been here
half a season. So there's one change, and that's Morse, the center. I think that they feel that this offensive line is better than everybody's looking at them from what they did 2 years ago. So what I think the offensive line has to do is they have to get back to the attitude that everybody's looking at us. That they have to know that everybody feels like that's the weakness of the team. But they had confidence in us. We need to come to the front. I'm not sure. I think it just comes down to attitude more than anything else, right?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do it now, because back when I played, we as an offensive line, if we were ever, which we weren't, ever a question mark,
right?
We would the coaching staff. It was like we had tempo setters that made us get our mind back to get you running the football. 907 middle drill, that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. That's attitude.
Not doing that now.
They're not doing that.
Can't do it.
You can't do it now. But those type of things are attitude drills. It's not for the faint of heart. You go 907 or middle drill. Because Coach Johnson at Miami, when we used to do the middle drill, he would he would put cones and say, "Hey, no, we ain't running no outside stuff. Y'all, all the running backs run inside the cone." So that was middle drill. And that was
poor running backs,
bro.
Man.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, but those are tempo setters. Those are attitude adjusters. I don't know if they have any of that now. They're in the framework to get the offensive line tougher. We had shoots, we had sled and all that kind of stuff. Grinding, getting dirty, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't know how you can be a dog if you don't train like that.
All right, so let me ask you this, Leon, and Dave too as well. The feeling, I guess, that's out there is they're blaming it all on Fortner, and Mitch Morse is coming in. He's gonna secure the middle three. Ezra Cleveland will be here now for a full off season. Sheriff's gonna have a chance to be completely healthy. You've got a veteran now in the middle. You feel good about your tackles. I'm guessing that's why they feel good about the offensive line. Okay, because they really haven't explained it. So my question to you then is this, Leon. Let's just say you guys lost Day Whitell for whatever reason during that season, okay? And you had to use a rookie. Would the offensive line have fallen apart?
No, and we did. We did use a rookie, Mike Cheevers. Mike Cheevers came in that Day Whitell was hurt.
Did you guys fall apart?
No, absolutely. First of all, me and Bo wasn't going to let it fall apart, that part. We had enough leadership and our offensive line coach, who used to get chewed out from Tom Coughlin almost every other day. So we knew he had our back, right? So he used to, he would come in the meeting rooms to tell us when we were down and had a bad game or whatever. He said, "Hey, listen, y'all need to pick it up because I just got my rear end chewed out because of you guys." He said, "Listen, we're not going to allow this unit to be the reason why we lose games. We're gonna do it in practice, and then when it comes to the games, it's going to be second nature." So we did it in practice. We were physical and mean and tough and ran the ball in practice. So it was second nature to us when we came to the game. It's all about it's a mindset. Running the football, being physical, all that, it's a mindset. You have got to say, if I beat my man, we win. And if everybody has that same mentality across the offensive line, you're going to win a lot more games than you lose.
All right, well, let me say this to you then, Dave, as a coach, okay, with the offensive line. If you're coming into OTAs, are you just saying this is our 5? Or are you saying, you know what, that left side of the line, we're going to let Walker Little compete with Cam Robinson. We're going to let Cooper Hodges compete with Ezra Cleveland. Is that what you're doing? Or are you saying, no, this is our 5, and then we're going to go, we'll see where we go from there?
Well, again, I think OTAs is about finding out who can do what. So there's going to be competition. You got to have competition. I think the thing that they've done the best job with here, especially when you look at the front 4 on defense, there's now 7 or 8 guys that are going to compete for a job, with those inside tackles and stuff now that they've got, and they've got an opportunity to get a rotation going. Well, on the offensive side of the ball, I think they're counting on a guy like Cooper Hodges coming in and competing for a job. I don't think anybody's set there except when they line up for the first time, if everybody's healthy, they know the 5 guys are going to line up there with the first
in camp, you mean, or in the first game?
No, I'm talking about in camp.
Okay.
In other words, the first OTA they had, the 5 guys that they think are going to be the starters are going to be lined up there because they have to work together.
Mm-hmm.
But there's competition. There's no question there's competition. And I think that, and I don't agree with you 100% that everybody's saying that Fortner was the entire problem. They've come out and said that we only played 1 game together. Well, that's a problem. Any way you look at it. You can look at it as an excuse, but it is a problem. I think they feel like those guys playing together are going to play more like what they did in 22. And if they do that, we're going to win some games. There's no question about it.
One guy got replaced in that offensive line.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
they didn't pick an offensive line until the 4th round.
No. Hey,
so it's clear who they think the problem was. I mean, again, that's just connecting the dots, right?
Yeah.
Would you?
They knew they had to replace him.
Right.
But that was not the only problem, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree with that totally. I agree with
They
you
knew
totally.
they had to make that adjustment. They needed a veteran guy there that had some skins on the wall and the same old thing they did at a lot of positions.
And we have no idea what's going on with Cooper Hodges with his knee. Even if he's completely healthy, are you going to sit a guy that you just started because the backup beat him out? Sit a guy that you just re-signed?
Well, hey, you got to win games. Whoever with the best player.
Well, my problem with the offensive line was down the stretch. Down the stretch, that the offensive line got manhandled at the most pivotal. Your best football is supposed to be played in late November and December.
Right.
And when I watched on both sides of the ball, and they even talked about this, both sides of the ball, we got out physical.
Yeah.
At the pivot, as a player that after Thanksgiving, in the November and December, you got to be playing your best football. And this team up front on both sides of the ball was not. That's the most telling tale. That because you understand, I always knew that in those times of the month that it's a switch, because you know that if you're going to make a playoff run, you know you got to be the more physical football team,
right? Or
you're going to be home. And the bad teams at that time, they know that. I told you the guys used to call me Big Service. Yeah, I done packed it in Big Service. Because, guys who are on bad teams, they know it's over.
Yeah.
I done packed it in Big Service. I'm just waiting on free agency. I'm so happy that I never had to think like that.
Right.
Because I made the playoffs every year I was playing. Because my mindset, when it came to November, December, it was just different. You got to get tough. You got to get more physical, because you're going to need that kind of toughness and physicality. Because when the playoffs hit, they coming.
And I'm with you, by the way. They need to show that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not what the coaches think. It's what they do.
Right. It's what they
come on that first game, second game, right on through. I think what they did on defense, though, is they got some more depth to where, the defensive guys are the ones. The offensive line's got to be tough and physical and everything, but they're not running all over the field. You need reinforcements in the front.
Right.
It's not the first 4, it's the first 8.
That can give you 15, 20 snaps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that at the end of the year, when Leon's talking about what they have to do down the stretch, you've got fresh legs going into that situation. Now, the offensive line is different. It's about dogs. I mean, just straight dogs. There's a little athletic going on over on the other side of the ball.
Right.
They're dogs on the offensive line.
All right. We need to go to a break before the Frangie show comes in and takes over. Frank and Hayes Carline on the way. We'll come back and wrap this thing up. It's XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. You can find 1010XL on any social media platform: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. At 1010XL.
Hey there, all you sports dads rocking the best dad bod possible. We love seeing you eat tacos by the handful, and we love it when you bring your kids here too. For years, Lucy claimed that her favorite thing on the menu was sopapillas, with a big scoop of ice cream. I know that's not a taco, but that never stopped her. I was shooting for Dad of the Year anyway, so I just let it happen. Taco-Lu's a great place to bring the family. There's something for everyone, as long as it starts with a taco. And a margarita for mom is always a good thing. At Taco-Lu in Jacksonville Beach.
I-9 Sports is fired up for their summer flag football tournament series, so make sure your team is part of the action. It's all happening in June and July at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows at their brand new turf facility. Register as a team and join the fun at i9sports.com.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Are you really even celebrating if you're not getting the Memorial Day meat sweats from Southern Steer Butcher? We're stocked and ready for you. Check out all of our Memorial Day specials online Wednesday to Monday.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Hi, it's Ben, second generation from Beards Diamonds. Guys, if you're popping the question soon, looking for an anniversary gift, before you buy anywhere, shop Beards. From a half carat to 10 carats, Beards will beat any competitor's price.
In the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 24, 1981, at the 65th Indianapolis 500, Bobby Unser took home the checkered flag as the winner. He is one of 10 drivers to win the 500 at least 3 times.
Hey Beaches area, great news for your next party. You can now buy Mystic Cornhole Company boards in stock at the Seaside Shops on 4th Avenue in Jacks Beach, or as always, at mysticcornhole.com.
Your cooling system isn't working. Maybe somebody showed up with a portable electronic device. Then they discussed with you what your options are. Maybe they gave you an estimate that seems like an awful lot of money. What's the smart thing to do? When the situation merits a second opinion, get a Mike Merritt opinion. Yes, the Mike Merritt Comfort Team shows up with hand tools. We've never been able to fix an air conditioning problem with a tablet. Mike Merritt has been the trusted name for more than 30 years because there's never any hocus pocus. The Merritt team will walk you through the diagnostic steps up close and personal and show you exactly what you need. And the Mike Merritt price is likely to be far less because there's never an overtime charge, and the Merritt team doesn't work on commission. So remember, when it comes to the health of your cooling system, a second opinion can only help, and a Mike Merritt opinion can save you money. Florida license CACO 50384.
Looking to make a great impression? Dylan Denmark here, folks, and when I want to score big, I send flowers or a plant from Jacksonville's best, Kuhn Flowers. Yeah, man, it's always a good thing to send someone a Kuhn floral arrangement, KuhnFlowers.com.
It's the coolest week to save during the summer fan sale at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Buy 1 fan, save 10%. Buy 2, save 15%. Buy 3 or more and save 20% off all fans at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Showroom near the Avenues.
Life has its share of challenges, and when it puts you to the test, make sure you reach out to Rebound Rehabilitation to give you the quickest path back to full health and confidence. Rebound Rehab, specializing in helping patients overcome back pain and sciatica, arthritis, and fibromyalgia, just to name a few. Rebound Rehab, locations covering the entire First Coast, getting you back in control with a pain-free life. Sports injury, workplace injury, whatever it might be, you can rebound. Log on to reboundrehab.com for more info.
Skilled trade jobs are booming, so begin your high-pay, high-demand career today through the Northeast Florida Builders Association. Their apprenticeship program provides paid training in some of the most highly sought-after skilled trades. Get paid while you train, full-time in carpentry, electrical, HVAC, or plumbing. Plus, earn a 10% raise every year, and the classes are 100% tuition-free. Start your new career today and apply before June 10th at NEFBAapprenticeship.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a big hair, heavy metal Friday on XL Primetime.
All right, you guys, whoever took my boots, I want them back.
I got a boot for you, Stan.
Yeah.
Right up your ass.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike, let me borrow your spares, huh? Your extra pair?
No, Stan.
No? What do you mean, no?
Just what I said, no. No means no.
You're some friend, you know that?
Gotta learn, Stanley. Every time you come up here, you got your head up your ass.
Maybe he likes the view from up there, huh?
All right, we're wrapping up here on XL Primetime. It's Memorial Day weekend on the way. Some of you guys, it's almost 4. Some are already checking out already, getting ready to hit the meat market or the produce shop or Publix or wherever. Get yourself some pork butts, ribs, chicken. Yeah.
Just got to remember, though, it's not about the hot dogs and the hamburgers. It's about those guys.
It's
that
about the fallen
went
heroes.
6
You better
feet
believe
under
that.
for this team.
You
for
better
this
believe
team,
that.
for this school.
The ultimate team, the United States.
This
yes.
United States of America. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so I want to wrap this thing up real quick because we were talking in the break, and it's just hilarious because I said, well, what do you? I said, Dave, so what are they doing when they get there? You know, they stretch, they run a little bit, and you guys were like, whoa. They're not running. No, they're not running. So it's completely different from what the hell that you went through.
Yeah, well, when I was at Miami, Coach Campbell was there. We had Jimmy wanted to know.
And then Jimmy did it to the Cowboys, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He called it was called a stress test, all right? Jimmy used to put us through stuff to see if we have been doing anything during the offseason, all right? Because he was a stickler on being in shape. So what we had to do when we came into spring ball, you know, kind of like the OTAs in college, bro, we had conditioning, bro. We had 8 stations, individual stations that we had to run, and then we had to run 16-110.
Explain the stations real quick.
Well, stations were like bags, ropes, cones, agility drills. All these were different, football-related stations that you had to go in a group. Each group, you had to go around the whole thing one time.
Yeah, the start and stop wears you out, man.
Yeah, bro. No, they were at least 10-minute drills each station. All right. So after you did the 8 stations, right, you had to. Coach Johnson would give you 5-minute break. All right, 5-minute break, and then now you got to run the 110s. All right, so you had to run the 110s. And you had to run them time, bro.
Just explain the 110s again, bro, for everyone, because when you explained it, RJ almost lost his mind.
Well, the 110s is individually grew. You had to run 110 yards, and you had to make them like offensive line had to make them in 19 seconds. And you can't be. You got to be. Your full body's got to be across the line in 19, not 20. 19, all right? And they had I remember Coach Campbell on the side. Coach Campbell will be watching the goal line and make sure the guy's crossing. If you ain't cross it, and Coach will say, hey, you're cutting it close.
It's a little sadistic, Dave.
It was classic.
Listen, I knew you were talking earlier about somebody getting his butt chewed out, but I'd have got my butt chewed out if I wasn't a stickler on. Everything was a stickler on doing things right.
Absolutely.
Whatever it was. People used to say it was the convicts against the Catholics, right?
Right.
Well, we might have had a few guys that were kind of on the edge, but they did everything right. That's what separated Miami back in the day.
And, and 92% graduation rate.
Yes, exactly right.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's right. People don't realize that.
Exactly. So one spring, bro, we ran the 8 stations, right? We ran 22 110s. And you know why we ran 22 110s? Because if you're in the group and a guy bends over, it adds another one. If your foot's on the line when you're supposed to get ready to start, he add another one. I'm telling you, if you miss one, he added another one. And bro, the spring of what? The spring of 80. After we won the national championship in 87,
88.
The spring of 88, bro, we ran 22 110s.
All right, so when you're hanging out with your Memorial Day parties and Memorial Day weekend, tell those stories because that's some flat-out unique stuff. All right, eat, drink, be safe. Once again, rest in peace, our beloved David Lamb. Frangie shows up next with Frank Frangie. Hayes Carline. I'm Matt Hayes for Leon Searcy, for Dave Campbell, for Joe Cowart, and of course, RJ Saunders. Have a great long weekend, everybody.
Come on, Joe. That ain't good enough. You gotta suck the blood out my mouth. Let's go, baby. Whoa!